There is a man, perhaps you have met him, who has everything the world told him to want, and he cannot sleep at night. His account is full. The car in the driveway is the one from the advertisement. By every number the world keeps score with, he has won. And he lies awake at 3 in the morning with a hollowness in the exact place the victory was supposed to be. You have seen his younger cousin online, 22 years old, standing in front of a rented car, telling you he made more last month than your father made all year, and that if you are not rich by 30, you have failed. He is selling you one corner of a life and calling it the whole thing. But the old teachers knew something he does not. They taught that a life is not a number, a life is a square. It has 4 sides, and if you leave even one of them empty, the whole structure leans, and every other side begins, quietly, to ache. Tonight I am going to walk you around all 4, because being truly rich was never about filling one corner louder than the rest. It was about the square, the whole square. And most people are starving in at least one side of it without ever being told its name. The square of life. A century ago, a woman in New York gave this its clearest name. Florence Scovel Shinn, an artist whose first life had come apart, her marriage gone, the career she had known dissolved, sat down and wrote what she had learned about the way life actually pays a person out. She called it the game of life, and at the center of it, she drew a square. The perfect plan, she wrote, includes health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. This is the square of life, which brings perfect happiness. 4 sides, not 1, 4. And here is the line that should stop you where you sit. She said no one may keep a single corner empty and still call himself prosperous. Sit with what that means. The man with money and no health is not prosperous, he is buying medicine. The man with health and no love is not prosperous, he is dressing the body of a stranger. The man with love and no work that calls him forth is not prosperous, he is performing comfort, while a part of him quietly dies. And the man with the calling but no wealth to support it is not prosperous, he is straining at the great work of his life with one hand tied behind his back. 4 sides. Miss one, and you will suffer in it no matter how full the other 3 become. So let us walk around the square, corner by corner, and find the one you have been told isn't yours. The first side, the money you chase. Let us begin where the world begins, because there is no honesty in pretending money does not matter. It does. Shinn put wealth on the square deliberately. Poverty is not holy. A man straining under bills he cannot pay is not closer to God. He is only closer to exhaustion. Napoleon Hill spent 20 years among the wealthiest men of his age, and he never once apologized for the word rich. He taught a definite desire for a specific sum, a plan to earn it, and the daily impression of that aim upon the subconscious mind until it organized a man's whole life around the getting of it. So claim this corner fully, without the guilt the world hands you for wanting it. But here is where the man in the advertisement has it backwards. Money was never the house. It is one wall of the house, the corner that buys you the freedom to tend the other 3. A fortune is a tool, and a tool was never the point of the work. And here is how you know money has become a counterfeit of riches instead of one honest corner of them. It is when the number is the only sentence you can say with full conviction when someone asks how your life is, and the only steady answer is what you earn. The day the number is your whole reply, the square has collapsed into a single lit room, and you sit inside it telling yourself the rest of the house does not exist. It does exist. Let us go and turn on the lights. The second side, the body you forgot. There is a particular kind of man who will build an empire on 4 hours of sleep and call it discipline. He treats his body like a rented car, drive it hard, run the engine into the ground, and assume there will always be a fresh one waiting at the desk. There is not. Shinn said the man with wealth and no health is not prosperous. He is buying medicine, and medicine, as anyone who has ever truly needed it knows, is the most expensive thing a fortune is ever spent on. You will hand back every dollar you earned, gladly, for one more good year, in a body that simply works. But the old teachers went deeper than diet and sleep, and so will we. They taught that the body is not separate from the inner life, it is the inner life made visible. Proctor would say the body is a result, an expression of the image a man holds of himself. The man who lives in drift, deciding nothing, carried along by whatever the day hands him, his body learns that drift, and in time expresses it as fatigue, as heaviness, as a slow decline no doctor quite names. And the man who has decided, who has an aim, a reason to rise, a self he is becoming, gives his body its orders to live. Goddard said, the world is yourself, pushed out. Your body is the nearest piece of that world you will ever hold. It is the first place the inner image shows its face. So tend this corner the way you tend the money, with attention, with respect, with the understanding that a magnificent life lived inside a neglected body is a mansion built on a cracked foundation. Sooner or later, it will not hold. The third side, the people in the room. Now we come to the corner the ambitious leave empty the longest. I want you to be honest with yourself here, because this is the one the men with the loudest numbers are most often quietly starving in. Shinn, said the man, with health and no love is not prosperous. He is dressing the body of a stranger. Picture that for a moment. A strong, well-kept body, beautifully clothed, walking through a life with no one in it who truly knows him, all dressed up, and no one home. The pattern is almost always the same. A capable man pours himself into the corners that reward effort, the work, the money, the visible win, because those corners answer when you push them. But love is not a corner you conquer by pushing. It is a corner you build by receiving, by softening, by letting another person actually reach you. And the man who spent 30 years learning to push has very often forgotten how to be reached. Shinn taught a strange and powerful law right here, the law of non-resistance. What you resist persists. The harder you fight the people in your life, the more tightly you are bound to them. The corner of love is built not by what you demand from others, but by what you imagine and speak for them. Bless the people in your life instead of bracing against them. The salesman who silently blessed every difficult customer watched his whole trade soften and turn. The atmosphere you send out is the atmosphere that comes home. This is the corner no fortune buys and no strong body fakes. And it is the one that, left empty, makes a man richest in everything and poorest where it actually counts. If your work has cost you the people, the work is not finished, it has been amputated. Go back for them. The fourth side, the work that calls you. The last side is the one most people have never even been told to look for. It is not money, though it may well make money. It is not a hobby. Shinn called it perfect self-expression, and she wrote one of the cleanest sentences ever written about a human life. There is for each of us a perfect self-expression. There is a place which we are to fill, and no one else can fill. Something which we are to do, which no one else can do. It is our destiny. Read that again with your own life held up against it. There is something you were shaped to do that no one else can do in quite your way, and a part of you already knows what it is, even now, even if you have spent years pretending not to hear it. Shinn, said the man with love, and even health, but no work that calls him forth, is not prosperous. He is performing comfort, while a part of him quietly atrophies. That is the precise word, atrophy. A muscle left unused does not stay the same, it wastes. And a calling left unanswered does not wait politely either, it sours into restlessness, into envy of the people who are doing their thing, into a low, constant sense that you have wandered into the wrong life. This, by the way, is the exact corner this channel exists to help you find, so if anything tonight is naming a hunger you have carried in silence, take 1 second and subscribe, because teaching people to uncover and live this side of the square is the whole reason we are here. And here is the mercy hidden in it. You do not have to invent your self-expression. Shinn said, it is not invented, it is recognized. It is already in you, a design waiting to be uncovered. Your only task is to stop drowning it out long enough to hear it, and then to take the one small step it asks of you today. The square is one square. Now I have to correct something before you walk away with the wrong idea. I have shown you 4 sides, and you may believe you now hold 4 separate jobs. Fix the money, then the body, then the people, then the work. 4 projects, 4 fronts. An exhausting war on all sides at once. That is not the teaching. In fact, that is the very mistake that keeps people poor in the middle of plenty. Because the square is not 4 things. It is one thing, seen from 4 angles. Proctor drew it on 1,000 chalkboards. One image, he said, held in the mind, produces what you call your health, your wealth, your love, your work. They are not 4 results. They are one result, expressed in 4 rooms. Hill said the same in his own language. Fix your life upon one definite purpose, feed it daily, and that purpose quietly organizes every faculty, every relationship, every dollar around itself. And Goddard sealed it in 6 words. The world is yourself pushed out. All of it. The body, the bank account, the marriage, the work, 4 expressions of a single inner state. So you do not repair the square corner by corner with raw willpower. You change the image at its center, and the four corners conform to the new image on their own. Which leaves you one honest question tonight. Speak the four words out loud: health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression, and notice which one your voice goes quiet on. That quiet corner is the one you decided, long ago and without noticing, was simply not for you. That is not a fact about your life. It is a habit of your inner word. And whatever one habit declared, another habit can revoke. The whole square. Let me leave you with the man who proved the whole of it. He came to Shinn's parlor with 7 cents to his name and almost no hope. He asked her only to speak the word for his prosperity. She did, but she did not claim a single corner for him. She claimed the whole design at once: health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression, under grace, in a perfect way. He left with his 7 cents and one quiet decision. A year later, he came back with a roll of bills and a life reorganized around all 4 sides at once. He had not chased a corner. He had claimed the square. That is the claim I want you to make tonight, and every morning after it. Say it out loud, as one whole sentence. I claim now the perfect plan for my life, health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression, and I give thanks that it is already done. Everything I have walked you through today, the 4 sides, the single image beneath them, the daily claim that fills them, is the heart of the prosperous life these teachers spent their years mapping. We have taken that whole path, in their own words, and organized it so it is simple to walk, step by step, inside the Second Life, our community and course. It used to carry a serious price. We have opened the doors so a serious person can begin for free, and I honestly do not know how long it stays that way. But if you have watched a video like this all the way to here, it was built for you. The link is in the description. You were never meant to be rich in one corner and starving in the rest. You were meant for the whole square. Go and claim it.